Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Hmm. Welcome to the stream, ladies and you know, fuck it. I'm gonna fuck it. Welcome back. Okay, welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. I had no sleep. I don't know what the fuck happened. Remember, I don't know if you guys were here yesterday, but I was up till 5 a.m. talking about anime, and manga. Then afterwards, I went upstairs, checked in on how the shoot was doing. The shoot ended at 6 a.m. So I was at the final shoot, the final shot. I was there at 6 a.m. with all the staff being like, yesterday people shot from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. I shot like 4 hours, and Jody Lily shot for 11. Tomorrow is another 12 hour shoot day. But yeah, hopefully it's a good video because I feel really bad for some of the people. John had a 6-hour one. I had a couple 4-hour ones. Yeah, it's I think the videos gonna turn out so fucking well though. But holy fuck, we're doing like real fucking shoots where it's like we have one place and there's one scene, but we need to do it from 6 or 7 different shots and angles, and having to pause, redo the lighting. Okay, scene 11, 2, take 1, snip. We take the line. Brother comes in. Can you give me a little bit more dull there? Like, I like what you were doing, but a little bit more dull. And we're like, okay, yeah, a little bit more dull. But I love what you were doing. I'm like, okay, yeah, I love what you were doing. Okay. Oh god. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's like one of my first. It's been a while since I've done like actual acting. And I don't know. I think it'll turn out well. Anyways, today, I don't know. Probably play some Lost Ark. Probably play some TFT. Who the fuck knows, bro? I am trying to climb a little bit on TFT, but like I swear to God, man, I don't know why I'm playing Draven. This fucking Draven thing, man. Oh, what's up, Yumi? Exciting? Eh. Oh my god. It. It's funny because we decorate cobwebs like around our house, and then there's actual spiders spinning cobwebs, and I'm like, wait a second, this isn't the one that we this isn't the one that we put up. It's not a fake one. Thoughts of the God song? A little generic. I like the video though. Do you know this? I haven't listened to the Forever OP. My friend recommended. Oh, it's really good. We talked earlier with one final fun. Oh yeah, yeah. Orn it up, bro. I'm telling you, I'm not Orn. I'm not an Orner. I don't like Orn. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I am not an Orn dude. I'll stick with Draven one more time. I swear, man. I feel like Spoils is so good, and then it sucks, and I'm like, oh, Spoils sucks. Dude, it's so funny watching. I was watching Dish Show play, And he's like, sorry guys, one Jin, gotta play Ionia. And I was like, you like one Jin, one BF. And I'm like, you fucker, man. Sunship25, thanks for sub over this stream. I haven't played Kate because I usually play super low level rerolls. I think Kate is better than Trade Sector. Arguably. Especially if your comp only has 1 or 2 things to 3-star. I think it's different if your comp has like 4 things, 3 or 4 things. But Kate also gives you a lot of tempo. So like it's really good for, I would say it's better than Lee Sin for the Samira comp because Swain 2 is worth so much. Yeah, usually I lose streak in a priority as well, but like if you don't have to lose streak, then isn't that better? Streaming pool, there will be 60 Sork players on this one. I bet. Wait a second. Is it the Caston Talia time? Hold up. Hold up. 6 Void Talia time. Sarah, like, welcome back for 24 months. Thanks for subbing.
I have but one life to give for Ionia. I must make it count.
Dude, look at all of these pairs. I'm paired up. Man, look at this. I have is it 4 pairs? I have 4 pairs. I guess if I was playing seriously, I should probably buy Jin Ash here. Luckily, I can still buy Jin Ash.
I got that.
Wait, is it Wittixstall? No.
Let's start the show.
Shit. Well, is it more like this? I think it's more like this. Okay, I had to Spoils of War. I think with Spoils of War, imagine if I get gold. I have a 30% chance of killing something and getting gold. So I won gold. Two gold. Three gold? Oh, that's pretty good. I would say that's a dub. Even a massive one, maybe. %70% chance of it doing nothing. Okay, don't do that to me. I put the Sunfire in the middle so it doesn't get hit, ideally. Most people's carries are on the right side too. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm just playing Ionia from this board. It's just too easy to play Ionia. Like, given my circumstances, it's just too easy. Ooh, 1 gold. Yes, sir. 1 gold.
There
Yes,
will be peace
sir.
in the Freljord. I will forge it.
That was way too close.
So
That was a level diff right there because, oh my god, that guy almost rolled me. How's your afternoon treating you? I have not slept yet. Oh, I don't mean this in like a, bad, like well, I've slept, but I slept like 6:30 a.m. to 10:30. I slept 3 hours. I just couldn't go back to sleep. Yeah, so like I don't know. I'm just feeling like I just wanna. I'm like, just fuck it. I just want a game. This guy has Casio 3, Show 2, Milio 2, Renekton 2. What? Okay, my bad for trying to streak this lobby, okay? That's my fault. I thought I could. I made the fucking mistake. My bad. Yeah, he's Hustler. He rolled at level 3. This is like the best way to play Hustler, IMO. One of the best ways to play Hustler. Am I sick? No. Not really. I guess I just take Heartbreaker here. Because you're wearing orange and that's keeping you awake. Am I wearing orange? I think is this red or orange? I think it's red, but in the lighting it looks orange.
for the Freljord. Piltover's finest.
Trust me, I'm pretty sure it's red. The experience with 9.5 man, I think the early patches have sucked. But that's just my early opinion. Yeah, I want to play this, but I need to find set to play this. Pumpkin orange? There's no way you set pumpkin orange, man. There's no way you even know what pumpkin orange looks like, bro. Nice.
Are all so weak.
I will tear the world asunder.
Huh. I mean, I have an insane opener because I have Ash 2. Ash 2 is sick. Maybe the OLED monitor? I don't think I do. I wonder who I'm playing. Oh, it's one of the bottom players. Oh, it's okay. I wonder if you could spoils award to Dino. Can I? Is it considered like a unit? Oh, it is. I got a gold off the Dino. Wow. Wait, I found the counter to Piltover. Please, more gold.
Is what I want to see.
XXX69 Scarra fanboy 420 XXX. Welcome back for 3 months. Every time I have to say your name, bro. Jesus. I mean, I'm looking good. I'm looking great, actually. I would like 3 Ionia in. That would be cool. But aside from that, looking great. Ooh, okay, I'm pretty sure Last Whisper is kind of necessary. Wait. Pretty good. Oh, he's playing doesn't wait what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This thing I should like, because I love loose streaking, but I just feel like it's not that good. I mean, statistically it's okay. I don't know, man. You have my sword is really good, right? Oh, idealism. Oh, shit. That sounds good. Oh, shit. Oh, I don't know. I've never played Ionia. I don't know which of these is better. Okay, hold on. Let me go. It's gifts or idealism. I think you can take either. I think Hodge if I had another Hodge component, but I don't. So like I would just like I think Hodge is only good if you could, like idealism is best when you can build two of them. I really need an Ionian spec though. Like, that's what I really wanted. Wait, I actually don't know how to make this comp. Hold up. Let me pull up like a YouTube video.
Now that is what I want to see.
Seen it happen. Don't worry. Uh-huh. Because you have to play the Sedge Zaya comp, right? If you don't hit Ionian spat. So I really want to level. But if I level here, does anything happen? Hyrule spoils. I leveled here because I feel like keeping streak is good, and also, wow, he didn't cast. That's not good. I lost. Wait, first of all, I think this guy wasted an item slot going adaptive though. No, it's so sad. It's too sad, man.
Fall to darkness, but Noxus will remain.
I heard Hurricane's not a terrible item, but I'm gonna hold on to this.
If I sound rude, it's because I've got a world to save.
Is it a pivot? Bro, no. There's gonna be Ionia on this board. Did I give him this Cho'Gath? I did, didn't I? Oh no, man. It's okay.
The void has breached this place.
I'm not gonna lie. I need to zero out my gold for spoils here. To do it now? But doing it now is just a waste of gold. I'll do it next round. This guy already rolled. I should have rolled the zero like this guy, bro. Congrats on the sushi stream. Thank you. Oh wow, this guy has. I heard QSS is really good on Mordekaiser. He has like 2 like insanely good items. Yeah. Fuck this. I need to like. There are people who've already found Zaya, man. I need to find Zaya. Please.
I never hold back. There will be peace in the Freljord. I will forge it.
I can play Shenrise this game. My favorite hand soap scent, lavender's not bad. It's like pretty basic, but it's not bad.
Yeah!
Okay.
Teamwork.
From the shadows. Shurima is where all paths converge. Demacia, now and forever. Shurima is where all paths converge.
Water to me.
Noxus will rise.
Huh. Those work for PvE? I do not think so.
Become what they fear.
I wonder if I build BT or if I just don't. I guess I could build BT. Maybe this open feels really bad.
From the shadows.
There will be peace in the Freljord. I will forge it.
Every soul shall serve.
No Zayas, huh? Ooh, a GP.
place was so damn quiet before I came along.
Noxus will rise.
Okay. I hit 0 Zayas, 1 Nyla. I think I low rolled as hard as humanly possible. No Shen, like 2 Shens, 1 Sedge. Oh wow, he dodged.
The river of fate drowns the
1 GP? No, the GP is for my spoils. Oh, dude, where's my board? I just need to roll the 0 every round.
Water to me.
Don't think I play Rise.
Target marked.
Hmm.
Let the monster out.
Woo!
Survive. Fight.
Dude, isn't this such an easy? Is this so easy if I just get 2 stars? Like, oh my fucking god, bro. Like, please, man. Like, I'm about to fucking sell this unit and this unit and fucking play Mordekaiser duo carry instead, man. And sell this for Slayer. Like, I just lose every round because I can't find you. I should have just kept the Mordecai. That was my bad. I should not have sold. I think that I should have been willing to just sell this game, and I wasn't willing to get out. But I should have, because I could have placed maybe like a top 5 this game with that.
Ionia still stands.
I should have left home years ago.
Believe Aphelios.
There's not a single bow here. What? Well, that sucks. R Ludico, what about for 4 months? 637. I went 8th this game. 8th. Sure. Go play some ads. This game was terrible. Really worth the argument? I don't know, man. I'm starting. I don't know, man. It's actually a really good early game, but like after the early game, it feels so bad. Like the thing is, it should feel good later because sometimes it gives you like that 5 costing could have been really good. I don't know, man. Mm. About the New World expansion, I hope it's fun, man. For your sake. Wait, Ducio? Hmm? Mm-mm-mm. I think that my biggest mistake is not rolling at 3-5 that game. I thought it'd be okay. Life was not okay. DC Universe Online, was that bad? If I remember correctly, is it still on? I think it happened at the same time as another big superhero thing. It happened like there was a City of Heroes. Is this an MMO? I think more people played City of Heroes. Okay. All right. Update. I'll be playing. I invited to play Outlast Trials at 7 p.m. tonight. I've never played it before, so I would need to download it. So give me a sec.
Don't mess with Noxus, brother.
I was trying. Is Outlast Trials actually horror though? I heard it was more fun than like horror, but maybe I just heard wrong.
You cannot hide.
Okay, I have a Tarek is like such an interesting.
I carry my family with
Okay, wait a sec. What if I'm playing Milio reroll? Actually, I would only play Milio reroll if it was a fire hex on the back. Really, I can't even take this, man.
Burn it up.
Keep your enemies close, and me closer.
I mean, is it even worth playing Invoker Peric if you don't have, I mean, it's ice. Ice. Oh my god, this is such a bait. I've literally never been baited this hard ever.
Perfection? I got that. Bow to the void or be consumed by it.
Isn't this the biggest bait of all time though? Like actually.
I am here to test souls.
We can play professionally in any league, it'll be a fighting game. Gunnerheart used to be so good. Wow, he got interesting. Risky moves? Oh, he is really strong. I hope they don't play him. Oh, I got 1 gold. Oh my, I think potentially getting gold on this round is worth so much too.
I am here to test souls.
You see in the polling meme, there's nothing we can do. Not that I can recall off the top of my head. Okay. It's dude, this one is so good. 50 Blood and Gone, I've never had a TFT.
Bow to the void or be consumed by it.
Wins from points. I'm thinking, oh my god, if I double over here, can I actually start streaking? I don't know. So Ixtal Graves, you see it doesn't already? I mean, yeah, okay. If I was allowed to go back in time, I would certainly make that decision. But now that I'm thinking Natra as a time traveler, I think I should not do that. I need tears. I need a lot of things, bro. The problem is I won all my rounds. Oh, it's a 3 cost tier. Oh, that is so ugly. I don't know if I can get that. I think you should take a Tarek almost certainly if it was on this. No. Oh, yes. I really have seen the graves like every roll, man. Fucking crazy.
All in.
As Ionia changes, so must I.
You ever slam this? I always feel like I have to, right? Nah, it's not. I don't care. I don't think. Okay, ice block. The ice block, excellent. Aggro swapped off the ice block, and we still get to keep the spark. That's a stolen vitality. The void reroll Nico. Interesting. I do have an ice Nico. They'll play or artifacts early. Oh yeah, they're really good. Oh, this guy is Vanquisher, but somehow has Argon board in. Interesting. Oh, I really could have slammed. It sucks that he has. I think I should have. Oh, I couldn't level here actually. It wasn't possible. Damn. I really have seen the graves on every fucking roll, man.
Every step.
Actually,
a new
fucking
journey.
crazy. I think I win that with Shojin Slam, but I kind of wanted to greed. But realistically, it's like I shouldn't have.
You always fight so clearly.
I guess I can just make adaptive. Short. Oh. Oh no. Don't really feel like leveling here. I want to see what I can get. Oh, is this the last mid set ever? Wait, I just realized it is. So like after this one, there's no more mid sets. Huh. Dude, I might actually, oh my god. I'm like getting tired. I thought it was great. I thought that was super fine. And now I'm like, oh, whoa. I cannot reroll Cali. That sucks. Oh my god. I wish, bro.
Every step, a new journey.
This is very exciting.
The thing is, I need to be awake by 7. Oh, to play. Oh God. Wait, it might be a stream ending soon. Actually, I let me see how I feel after this game. You know how when you get hit with a wave of exhaustion that kind of came out of nowhere? I kind of just got that. Like, I was really good. I was like, great. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa. I got one of those whoa kind of feelings. Whoa. We get this emote. Lyric? Okay. Excuse me. Sure. Literally me. Oh my God. It's stationary support with vampiric blades. Guy already has Graves 3, 40 gold. Oh, this is not good. Can we kill this? Can we kill this? Okay, so what's the plan here? Pretty sure it's grab a gunblade, but I can grab another tier because tiers are always good. Grab gunblade, grab sunfire here. Really good options. Nico with belt was good too, but there's a good chance I'm not going I'm just gonna end up going straight to 6 work this game, right?
This is very exciting.
Oh my God. Any other time, bro.
So I will rule the Freljord. As Ionia changes, so must I.
Yes, I am a weapon.
I may be merciful, but Targon isn't.
Oh, this sicko healing is quite good.
I may be merciful.
Oh, there's an ice thing.
Targon
Whoops.
isn't.
I kind of want to roll more at 7, but I mean, I think I probably should. Man, fuck, it's weird. I hope I win this. LVP and Ixtal seems counterintuitive. In what way?
Survive.
I feel like they're not counterintuitive at all. I think it's something that works very simply with each other. Free gold, free gold, free gold, free gold. Gold everywhere. Positioning is a little funky. I think if you're playing spoils, you roll like a lot. Like I could still upgrade my board quite a bit from this position, you know. Replace these two with 2 Sorks would be like a really huge upgrade. Because 6 Sorks in this comp is just nasty. This is Shen, you know. Yeah.
We did it! Yeah!
Who the fuck?
Shurima is not this time.
I miss a Swain. Oh. Oh. Oh, this is kind of weird now. Bro, I'm pretty sure I'm slamming IE here, man. Yes, yeah, fuck it, man. This sucks ass, but whatever, man. What am I gonna do?
Survive. Fight.
I'm LDP, it's fine. It's good for Gunblade. Did Penrose box appear? Yeah, but I don't know if I want to take it from this position. To reroll just 1 item, it's fine. I think it's better to just take anything combat augment-ish. Oh, interesting. Strangely enough, I like this option. The thing is, I don't feel bad re-rolling here. I could put in 6 Swords really easily here. Am I a bitter player? I only ask this because I have 2 Zayas I can just hold permanently. Like how many people am I screwing over, you know? You're pure evil, hold them? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. I do need to sell this at some point though, because I'm pretty sure I need to turn this. I don't think I'm going to restart. Oh, maybe I am.
The world may fall to darkness, but Noxus will remain. Shurima is where all paths converge.
Demacia, now and forever.
Oh my god, I kind of want to sell these though. I need this Shen, like actually kind of bad. But not yet, not yet. I think the ice is pretty good.
Let the monster out. Survive. Fight.
Can't see the health. I hate the bug. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm selling this for Shen, so I'm gonna 3-star this. Oh wait, is this just mine? Hello? Oh. Oh, wait, that kind of makes stuff interesting. A little bit. Ooh, okay, good. Got Gunblade. Okay. 6 Swork, Bond, Gunblade. I mean, it's all looking okay. I mean, I'm still rolling at 7 until I hit stuff, you know?
About time I got my hands dirty.
Wait. Oh. We did hit stuff. We do be hitting stuff. Oh, Zero seems kind of sus. Oh, I would have sold these Ayas if I saw Nico. Why is this Zai unit so much fucking damage?
So strange, they scream.
Really too. I'm just thinking of buying this because
I'm about to ruin you.
They can all burn.
dude, I really am tired as heck, guys. I hold on. Oh. The actual sludge.
So strange, they scream.
I should have left home years ago.
Which is the worst made?
Become what they fear. Yeah. Let the monster out.
Do a shield in lobby? Oh, this do extra damage to shield? Oh, it does. Oh, I like Mouse better too. I didn't know it was a shield breaker. I thought it was only EMF was a shield breaker this set. This guy's buy 3 gunner, dueling gunners, overwhelming power. GP. Okay, interesting.
I may be merciful, but Targon isn't.
Fuck it, they already hit. I'm leveling. Fuck it. I don't know if I want. Oh, thing is, am I playing for Bastion or am I playing the Karma to Invoker version?
Become what they fear.
I think I'm playing 3 Bastion, which sounds really weird, but it's just optimal, I think. And then I'm playing this Karma. Okay, I got it.
So must I.
Hold on, hold on. Yeah. I'm moving this.
I may be merciful, but Targon isn't.
About time I got my hands dirty.
Fuck, man. I don't want to Nico this. I just want this shit to die. Fine. Okay, I'm dead.
Let the monster out.
Okay, I'm going for damage here. It also gives you a really large amount of AP to split here with your LDP partner. I think I'm missing some AP because yeah, he has a fucking IE, man.
All according to plan.
Oh my god. Am I cheating?
About time I got my hands dirty.
We are to fight now? Let's go!
I feel like I'm cheating. Honestly, if you had asked me if Crown Guard was good, that I would have said it would probably be pretty good too. For third item, Ionia spat bank level of vanquish. I positioned to kill my front line. I have no bramble. Oh, this might be a little messy. Dude, level 9 Ionia board. He has Rise 2 double Ionian spat. How did he even get 2?
From the shadows.
I'm dead.
Demacia, now and forever.
Fuck, man. I'm dead.
Everyone pays.
Your rogues are just cracked, man. 6 gunner. And this guy is playing 4 rogue. Good night. Oh my god. I feel like I cannot be entertaining, guys. I'm out. I don't think I can nap for 3 hours either. I'm gonna have to find a replacement. I'm gonna just try to, yeah. I gotta go, guys. I'm so sorry. I should not have started my stream. Good night, guys. Have a great